This obviously is well used. This is a handheld airless, okay, and it truly is an airless. So the pressure is auto-adjusting on it. So if it needs 2,000 psi to spray an unthin latex or oil, that's what it's going to use.
Oh, so it will adjust to the viscosity of the paint? That's wonderful.
So if I'm running something thin, a stain or a varnish, and it only needs 1,100 psi, that's what it's going to use.
Wow.
It's a variable speed motor design, and it'll instantly adapt to what you're spraying with. So that's one of the beauties of this thing. There is no need to thin your latex or oil products. You stir them up nice. You can thin them, of course, use Fortrol, Penetrol water, whatever. But you just dump it in this quart. We're using this today. Cup that comes with it. Here's your suction tube. Okay, this has got a double O-ring seal. So you're going to get two with it. You'll get this one basically, which is straight. And if I twist this, it'll pull from the back of the cup. So if I'm doing crown soffits fascia, it'll pull from the back of the cup and use most of the paint because this is suction feed.
Just twist it around if you're aiming down a little bit?
If you're aiming down, if you're working on some sawhorses, painting some baseboard or working on some trim you got made out, I want to put this one on, and it comes with it as well. So this one is put on and it's angled, you see, because it's not centered in the center of the cup. So this will pull from the front of the cup. Okay. So it goes here if you're always down. Cool. And obviously, if you have the cup full, you're going to be able to go at a more severe angle. But as the cup empties, and they come with a lid. And again, going back to the pump saver thing, I tell guys buy an extra cup with a lid. Put your pump saver in here, and then just that way, every day your guy pulls some through it, and you're done. So I strongly recommend that. So you put the tube on it. I'll put some water in it here, and we can go through this when it's all. If you got a heavy latex in the battery, it's probably about 7 pounds. So we want to stress that this is just a complement to your existing airless. We're not trying to replace your 695 or your 5900. Exactly. So you got that, the shutters to paint the front and garage door and the service door. You got some louver doors. You got something small that's way at the top of the lamp. Yeah. Exactly. So I'm learning every day from contractors what they're going to use it for. 411 and a 515. But the tip does not come out of the base, and this is sold as a unit. And if you look at the end of the gun here, if you take the front off a contractor gun, you kind of see that. If it reminds you like a contractor gun. So how this works is this seats into the back of it. There's a tungsten carbide seat in the back of this tip. So when it shuts off, it shuts literally right into the base of the tip. So that's going to help eliminate your spitting and the design of this machines. I hear a lot, oh, why can't I just use my Rack 5 and this and that? It's because we're using this as the shutoff as well. So that tungsten carbide is very expensive. So if you lose a shoe and a seal on your Rack 5, who cares? You have a ton of them. But if you lose a tungsten carbide seat, that's expensive to replace. So that way the seat doesn't come out. It's all one assembly. The filter, if you buy an 11 or the finer tips, you're going to get this will come with it, and that's the finer filters. I believe it's about 100 mesh, and it reverse threads right into the back here. Okay, so that's your tip filter. And then we have the black one, which is the coarse, for the 515 and the 517. And again, it reverse threads right into the back. And it reverse threads, so when you're screwing this thing on, the filter doesn't unscrew. So that's why it's reverse threaded. So when you go on, you don't have to worry about that. So this just goes on. What do I got here? This is a 315. It's going to throw out a lot of water.
That's all hand tightened?
Yep.
Cool.
Sure is. And the reversible. Okay, and here too, while I have this apart, this is the flow restrictor. This comes with it. Okay, so if you got a 211 tip and you're spraying a stain or a clear varnish or a polyurethane, and you want to slow down, but you have an 11 tip, what you do is you just take this tube off, and this flow restrictor just inserts right into here. Okay, so it restricts the flow coming into the pump. You're still going to have nice pressure at the tip. And that way you can have more control with your stain and your varnish.
That's interesting.
So because nowadays, materials are getting, even your clears and varnishes and stuff, the VOC levels are going down, and as a consequence, the volume solids are going up. So you need an 11 thousandths tip, so the material's not constantly clogging the tip. You can't go down to a, 09 or 07 because your tip would always be clogging. So this is a good way to have all the benefits of a smaller tip and still not have tip clog issues and all that, so you can slow down a little bit. So you can see that on this end. And it comes with a pin. It will have a pin in it with a little cap. That way you can clean it out with the pin and stuff to keep it clean. But it's a small hole, and obviously if you put super paint in here or something, it's not going to allow enough material up. Right. So it's mainly for thinner products to have more control. You get the adapter ring with it. So I can put this on here. And if you've seen the colors to go samples that Sherwin-Williams sells, the little quarts. So if you put this ring on it, what it'll do, it'll lengthen that quart can enough so you can screw that quart can right on here and spray out a sample for a customer. So that you can just put that right on here, prime it, and spray out the samples. So
we just did 2 samples today with a Wizzy roller, a brush,
yeah,
all that paint.
Yeah. So this just screws onto here. Okay, so just dump your paint in. You don't have to thin it. You can if you want, but you don't. Here's your prime valve. Okay, and this is a prime valve we used in other machines for years. So to prime it, you're up. Okay, squeeze the trigger for like 4 seconds, and it's priming the unit. So the prime tube on this is that little. There's a little
in the back there.
Yeah, see it? See it? Now look, you see that spitting out? Okay, so it's spitting back into the cup there. Okay. So it's primed. So hold that for about 4 seconds and recycles through or primes back into the cup. Okay? When you're ready to spray, this just goes down and you're good to go. So obviously this isn't a pressure-fed gun like you're used to with your 695 or something. So if I'm doing a door jam, if I'm doing a door, if I want to go side to side, that's fine. Or if I want to go up and down, I'll do that. So if I'm spraying a jam or something, I'll go up. And then to go across, you don't want to do that because you're going to lose prime, especially if you're low on material. You're just going to want to twist the guard, come across, twist the guard, and come down. So if you're doing a lot of jams and stuff like that, I mean, obviously the learning curve will be, one time on that. You'll lose prime and all. So anytime you change paint or you lose prime or something, just flip this up, reprime it, and you're good to go. And eventually you'll notice there's just a subtle sound difference. You'll know immediately that's primed up. So that goes down. Okay. So you heard the motor slow down because this is less viscous material. It's water. It's variable speed. Okay. So there I am spraying. If I want to go side to side. Okay. So that's it. So you spray your job. It's truly airless design. It's going to give you a very fine finish. I mean, if you look at the edge of the fan, I mean, it breaks it into nice, very, very fine droplets. Atomization is superb on this. So,
and there's no pressure adjustment. It's all internal.
It's all internal. So you want to be on top of your work a little bit more. Sure. You'll notice a dramatic difference in overspray with this unit. I mean, we really attack the substrate with this and keep a lot of the paint. So your overspray will definitely be less. It's still airless though. I mean, you're going to have to use the paint back into the bucket. If you have the liner, toss it. Take that out and either cut it and open it and let it dry or do whatever. You're going to pull this tube off, rinse this in the water hose or in the sink, until that's nice and clean. Doesn't take much. If you're turning it sideways and all that, if you got paint all splashed up in here, just get a wet rag. Obviously you don't want to immerse the unit in water, but if I got a sink and I'm splashing it, it's okay. I mean, it's not going to, I've splashed this plenty, but it's not meant to be immersed, obviously. Clean that up under there, nice and good. Put the tube back on. Pour some water back in here, some clean water, and just something if you want to put it in prime, and you can either put it in here and prime it and cycle it through. What I do just to make it even quicker is I'll put this in here and I'll hold this to the side and see it, and so it'll spit out the side of the cup. Yes, so it'll get that paint out real quick and doesn't dirty up this water. So then I'll put this back on, kind of run some through the tip. So, and I'm talking about not a lot. You don't need a ton of water, just a little bit. Then I'll take that tip back off, clean that filter, just run this under the sink, till that's